Welcome to ChemLight. If you're a UTMA student, you're a level student, and you're finding chemistry calculations to be very difficult, I am here to demystify chemistry calculation. Now, pay attention. This is a pH concept calculation. Now, the first question says that the concentration of hydrogen ion in two solutions are 1 times 10 raised to the power minus 10 mole per dm cube. This is the concentration. Now, the next one is 2 times 10 raised to the power minus 5 mole per dm cube. What is the pH of this solution? Now, the first thing you have to note in pH calculation, anytime you see that the hydrogen ion was given, you should do what? Smile. Means that the equation, this particular pH equation is very easy. To tackle this kind of equation, you do what? Now, don't forget about this thing. pH has a direct relationship with pOH. And pOH has a direct relationship with OH minus. And OH minus has a direct relationship with H plus. And pH has a direct relationship with H plus. Now, with this, you can actually generate your formulas. Now, one thing you should know that pH has no direct formula with OH minus, and pH or pOH has no direct relationship with this guy. Knowing this, what do? We're given H plus, and we're asked to look for OH, which means this is what we are working with. Now, the first formula we all know is pH equals to log 10 hydrogen ion. This is the first formula to solve pH equation. But now this formula is going to require you to use a calculator. And now in your UTME you might not see this calculator. Basically, I'm going to show you why we shouldn't need this guy. So I'm just going to drop it. So let's go. Now let me show you what we have to do. Now I have this formula that says that hydrogen ion is equals to A times 10 raised to power minus n. So now, therefore, with this formula, we can see that pH is equals to n. This n will now come down. N minus log log A. Now, with this formula, we can basically solve most pH equations without calculator. How do we do this? Now, the question says this is our hydrogen ion concentration. Now, from this, as I said, this is equals to hydrogen ion is equals to this, which means the hydrogen ion of this is this. So we can relate these two things. The N is this guy and the A is this first guy here. So we can simply say pH of the first one is our pH is our pH is simply our N now, this guy will now come down, which says that 10 minus log A is 1, right? So we can just say log 1. Now, even at this point, we have come to the point in which by we need calculator. But there's no calculator. What do we do now? This is why you should have the log 1 to log 10 table of heart before you enter the example. So now log 1 is equals to 0. So now pH is pH is equals to 10 minus 0. Therefore, the pH will now be equals to 10. Now I'm going to tell you one secret which you might not know. Anytime you see that your hydrogen ion, the first value was 1 times 10 raised to power whatever, just know that the value of this guy will always be the pH if you are looking for the pH of that particular concentration. Don't ever forget the secret. Anytime you're 1 is the first thing here, you always look for the log 1 to be 0. Just know that your value will always be, the value of the pH will always be this power. Do you get that? That's why I said I'm going to demystify chemistry for you. So now, let's start with the second question. The second question is obviously on a different level, but we can also solve it with that calculator. So now, let's go. The pH of the second value here will now be equals to Now remember, our N will Our N will come down again, which is 5. 5 minus Log 2. Now, what do? At this point, you still need your log table, but you don't have it offered. That is a problem. But thankfully, I have it offered. Log 2 is now equals to Log 2 is 0.3. So now, on this note, we can just say 0.3. Therefore, the pH of this guy, the pH of the second one will now be 5 minus 0.3 is going to give you 4.7. Now, this is the pH of this particular equation. So now, if you want more videos on this, clear on pH concept, pH calculations, and a lot more like stoichiometry and other calculation, go and check me on YouTube. Search medic union. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is what? See you at the other side. Thank you for watching.